Hey guys, I figured I would do a vlog real quick. I hope that you can hear me. It's raining here and I'm driving to work. So I just kind of wanted to talk about some weird experiences that I've been having. I would call them paranormal experiences. And so last week I was coming to work and I just felt, and you guys are going to think I'm just out there when I say this, but I have been feeling Ed Warner around me for quite some time since he's passed. And then he kept telling me it was within this year, he kept telling me that, Lorraine is gonna go, she's coming to the other side, and he wouldn't give me exact date, but he just said she's ready, and I was like, okay. And he was just telling me these things like I need to prepare and people need to prepare because people's got to carry on the legacy and the hard work that we've done. And I listened to him and I'm thinking to myself, why would he come to me after, maybe they've came to other mediums, I don't know, but I'm listening and I'm taking mental notes, and then I find out she passed away, and I was like, wow, so that was weird. And then I was, not even thinking about anything. I was driving to work, and when I'm in my mode of I gotta go to work, I'm just like, I can shut down pretty quickly with my gifts. I think that's honestly the only time that I'm not open. And so when something comes through, it's meant to be, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that I'm not forcing. It's something that is an urgency that my guides think I need. And the next thing I know, I'm talking to Lorraine and she's telling me that she's talking about a whole tribe, group of people that clairvoyants and mediums and paranormal investigators need to gear up, because they need to keep doing their work. They can't let things get in the way. And she was telling me she had her hand like this, and she opened it up and there was a ruby stone in her hand. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And so I just kind of said, okay, I don't understand what this means. But she's like, you're chosen, you're one of the chosen ones. And I get to work and I just ignore it. You're not ignoring it, because I'm glad she came to me, but ignoring it in the sense I can't take notes right now, I gotta just go back to the work, And so I get up to the building where I work, and I had to stop because there's traffic before I could get in the building. And she was talking to me again, and she's like, why are you secluding yourself to one mission? And I was like, because I kind of have to, because finances. And she goes, no, that's not what I mean. But then she just kind of went wherever she was supposed to be going. But it was just really strange. And then I get into the building, and my boss is wearing a red shirt. It was just weird. And I was like, okay, so that's confirmation that I wasn't making this up. I actually seen her. She was communicating with me, it's legit. And then then my friend at work, she was sitting at her desk and I was sitting at my desk, and we're right across from each other from the hallway. And I'm zoning out again because I gotta do paperwork and data entry and whatever I gotta do. So then I was like, okay, this is just a normal day. And then I heard someone tapping and their fingers on a piece of glass, but it was more like a whiteboard. And I was like, did you hear that? She's like, yeah. And it was really freaking loud in her office. And then I was like, okay, it sounded like this. So I went and I recreated it, because I'm like, I love paranormal investigators, right? So I tried to recreate it, and it sounded just like someone tapped their fingers on the whiteboard behind her door. And so we both could see. I mean, no one is in there. We're looking at each other across the hallway. Both of our doors are open. It was just really strange. She's like, I got chills. So I came in there and I said, are you all right? And I was standing right there, and I seen her hair go up on one side, how it gets staticky and it does that. And then I looked at her other side, and so I just seen one finger, guys, touching the other side of her head, and it was messing with her aura. It was just one finger, like a one swoop like that. And I saw this with my physical eyes, which my clairvoyance was on, you know, but it was a gray finger. And I'm like, that's strange. And she's like, yeah, I don't talk to people about this, you know, at all. And she started telling me incidents and, you know, experiences she's had throughout her life. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. Like, obviously you got strong guides that are like dead set on trying to get your attention. And for some reason they were dead set on getting my attention that day. So it's almost as if I've got to re-evaluate how I'm spending my time. And I keep saying this, but I never get it done. But it's like a SOS from spirit that I'm meant to do more than just sitting at a desk and dealing with dual diagnosis clients in a group home, you know, in a workshop. That's what I love to do, but it's not all that I'm meant to do. And so I'm looking at it from a financial aspect, and I've really trapped myself there. And it's depressing me, and it's not doing I'm not doing my full purpose. And so I think that's what Lorraine meant when she said that. Now, I'm not saying that actual Lorraine Warner came to me, or Ed, but I think, you know, if someone wants to argue with me and say that that's not, you know, they didn't come to you, you're whatever. If you want to look at from a psychological standpoint, and you want to look at it in the psychology sense of Jungian theory, we would look at archetypes, right? And so what does Lorraine and Ed stand for? In my opinion, Lorraine is a very gifted clairvoyant. And so as a clairvoyant myself, maybe my confidence can come from her if I draw on her archetype, you know, her extraordinary gifts and her extraordinary experiences. If I was looking at Ed as an archetype, I would look at him as someone that has dealt with a lot of aggressive energy, especially within the paranormal realm. He didn't really choose what he was doing. It was kind of with him his whole life. And so if I was going to apply that to my life, I would say that I've always been in this environment of aggressive clients that are dual diagnosis. And I was brought up in this environment, and I happen to just stay where I'm at because it's what I know. So that's just something to think about when you're having experiences like paranormal experiences. And another thing I want to add before I leave to go to work is I've been having a lot of stress at work, and I've had stress at work before, right? I've worked this job for almost 12 years, and now I'm in a new position, but I'm no longer at a, I would say, entry-level point of employment. My status is I'm up there, I'm just below the directors. So my stress level's a little higher now. And so I was having just an exhausting night, and I, you know, worked 12 hours, and I wasn't expecting to, and I came home, and I went to bed, and my husband was like, you know, I was asleep. I don't recall this, but I remember having a lot of wild dreams where it's just like I was fighting against things, and things were just not difficult, but just uncomfortable. And I felt like I had to be aggressive to get my point across. And my husband was like, are you okay? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you were dead asleep and you were screaming. And I'm like, I was? He's like, yeah, you scared Dex, which is my chihuahua. you scared her so bad that she ran out of the bedroom and come to find me, which I was in the other room of the house, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was having really bad dreams. He's like, I could tell. And I've never screamed in my life in my dreams. I've talked in my dreams, I've whimpered or cried, but I've never whined, but I've never screamed that I can recall in my whole 30 years. So that was just another paranormal experience, I feel, when it comes to not only paranormal like the other realms, but like paranormal and the psyche, and how I feel like that's why before I close this video again, I keep getting distracted because more things keep coming up as I talk about it. But another thing that keeps coming up is my name has always been Flower 6 or Paranormal Angel. And so I feel like there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that Paranormal Angel and why I picked that name. So I definitely want to keep talking to you guys about my experiences, especially with the paranormal as a medium and a clairvoyant. It'll have to be in different segments. I can make this a series if you guys are interested in it. Of course, I'm still going to put my readings out there and my chat with me and unboxings, because I like to do those a lot. But, I just kind of wanted to do a paranormal one and just see what you guys like as far as content. I'm just shifting my energy, and I just feel like there's a lot to talk about. And this is one thing I really enjoy talking about, guys. So I hope you guys have a great day. And please like, comment, subscribe. And I will get back to you as soon as I can, guys. Many blessings.